Hey everybody, it's Lebo with Lebo's Pinball, working some more on this target pool, trying to make some improvements. We got the playfield that was all polished out in the last episode, and we'll be waxing it a little bit later. But I went ahead, I put some of the metal pieces back that I had off, and started focusing on one other quick area that shouldn't take too awful long. This, if you notice here, you can see I've already started filling it in. The ball path, there's, it's worn itself down into the wood, past the finish. And what I've done on some games in the past is I've got a, let's see, where is it? I've got this, it's a clear coat. It's a polyacrylic, so this is a little different than like a polyurethane, I guess. But I've used this to actually fill in like the wear areas after I've kind of cleaned it and sanded it down just a little bit, just in that that little groove. And basically the idea of what I do is I just fill this in, and then I'm going to go back actually with a razor blade and just kind of a fresh brand new one, just kind of skim it across the top, and that does kind of help flatten it down. And then I'll go back and maybe with some really fine, like 2000 grit sandpaper, might kind of just sand just locally, trying to keep any of the work that I'm doing really within that whole little groove. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to completely fade away, because that's just not what I'm after. I mean, I would love for it to, but we're just not there. So I'm going to basically fill this in, try to cut it down, sand it down, and blend it away. And hopefully the objective is that it looks better and it's not really standing out quite like it is now. So we're going to fill this in a little bit and take it from there. All right, so now that we've got the clear on here and polished it out a little bit more, the whole ball trace or whatever, it's still there. I mean, it's not gone, but it is definitely improved. And it's just kind of sort of flows out a little bit. It's got a little bit filled in there. I may actually go and put a little bit more and kind of polish in a little bit more, but it's really not too bad. I may just leave it, kind of giving the whole aging of the game. Just want to clean it up, make it nice and playable. All right, so now that we've got that pretty much taken care of, the whole playfield surface for now at least, I'm going to now shift over to looking at these stand-up targets. And this is kind of a part I don't want to say I'm dreading, but it is going to take a bit of work. So the plan is every single one of these stand-up targets I'm going to replace. I've got new ones for everything. The only ones I don't have are the ones for the striped balls. This one's just going to be just a plain white ball. But I haven't completely decided. I may have a way to go get these recreated, an alternative way, involving a decal on top of a white target. I haven't decided. I'm going to save that kind of for last. I'm going to go ahead and do the others, just see how it looks, because if it looks weird with everything else looking new, which I suspect it will, then I'll go after it, and I think we can get it done. But let's go ahead and kind of figure out how we're going to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this playfield over, and we're going to take a little closer look at the bottom side. A lot of these stand-up targets that are just individuals, that I like to call them, they're not part of a whole group. The way to get them out is just basically going to be taking a couple screws loose here at the base, and then this one example would hold, it would lift all the way up, and I would probably go ahead and just unsolder this wire, and then also this little braid that's going here, and just get the whole thing out, because if you look real close, you can see it's riveted together. So once I get it out, I can get it over to, my workbench and drill the rivet out, replace the, drill out the rivet that's holding the target in place, put a new one in, and then put the whole stack, switch stack back together, and then put it back in here and resolder everything, and then that one's fine, move on to the next one. But when you get over to ones like this, so here we've got something just a little different. It's better in some ways, worse in other ways. So we've got 4 stand-up targets here. They're all connected by way of this metal bracket that's on the back. So my plan to get this out, I've not done it yet, but it's going to be to take the screws here that are holding this whole bracket, and then the whole thing should just, pick up and lift out of all these slots. Now, one difference though, that is good news, I think, is, at least on this game, maybe somebody's done something before, but I bet this is the way it was manufactured. It makes sense, because you got this, since this bracket's here, the way that these switch stacks were connected to the brackets, it was not with a rivet, it was with these little screws. So what that means is, once I've got this thing out of the way, I don't have to go and solder all these wires. I can just undo the screws, a pair of them at a time, which basically takes apart the switch stack, but I can get the one piece out that I need to go work on, and drill out the rivet that's supporting the target, and then go put a new one in, and then go put it all back together, and then move the next one. So the ones that here, again, in the back, those are going to be a little more of a straightforward way that I've done in the past. I've got some back here that are doing it the same way. We've got a bunch here, bunch of these targets that are in the front that are all in this whole same idea with a bracket here. So that one, again, will be taking some screws out, lifting the bracket up, and then I should be able to just do, unscrew the targets one at a time, get over the workbench, and start replacing it. So this one's gonna be a big job, so it's time to get started. Here we go. All right, so here we got it. We got the new target in place. It looks really nice. And I've got this one, the rivet all put in place. I use this tool that I got from Rampomatic. It's just this little, it's just basically a die. But the idea with this is that you throw the rivet in, a little washer, and then you take this tool and you punch it, and it does a good job with just flaring it out just right. So here it is. It's in here nice and tight. Rampomatic, by the way, here's a little kit that I got from them. It has lots of different little rivets that came with it. But these targets that I got from Pinball Resource already came with rivets, so I just needed a tool. So now it's time to go put this back onto the switch stack and put it back together. All right, so we got the first one done. There it is. It's back in place. I kind of cleaned the metal up a little bit. Got the switch stack put back together, and now it's time to move on to the next. Golly, this game's probably got, I don't know, I'm guessing 35 or so targets throughout the whole game, somewhere around there, give or take. So just keep moving forward and let's get her done. So we got a lot of the targets done, not all of them. I still got the main, the solid balls, and still trying to figure out something on the stripes. I kind of think I may have a solution for that in the works. But we got all the, I guess the octagonal, I guess that's what you call them, targets. So let's see how they look. All right, it's looking nice. They're looking nice. Now the one thing that I'm going to start watching for now is looking actually. Let's go here where we can see things a little better. Get this camera in here a little tighter. So, trying to make sure they're all even, but most importantly, I want to check every one of these switches. Now I've cleaned them, or at least I've cleaned, the piece that came out. I still may need to kind of go through and scrub some of these, but the important thing is just kind of checking the gap, make sure that they're gapped properly. See, like that one actually looks pretty good. So when the ball hits that, it's going to make that switch, and then it's going to make the switch behind it. So I want to go through every single one of them and adjust them, tighten them up where they need to be, or open them up. Make sure that none of them are resting in a closed position like that one. So that one, actually, it's just barely open. We're going to want to open that up a little bit. So once I get a minute to put the camera down, I'm going to correct that. But basically that's the idea. I'm going to go through every one of these and make sure that they're gapped right. But for now, I think I'm going to wrap it up. This is good progress. Looking really nice. I mean, these are, it's nice. I know they're nice and white, and you've got, a little bit of a faded play field. But the plan is I've got new targets already for these colored ones, and the ones where we get a stripe, we're looking at trying to make a decal and put it on top of a white ball, and then basically kind of clear over it, basically with Mylar. I think that's probably what we'll do, and I think it's gonna be a pretty good alternative. So, making progress. See you next time.